In East Africa, a silent battle is unfolding. Not battle fought with weapons, but with ports, pipelines, oil, money, and power. And at the center of it all are two coastal cities, Mombasa, Kenya, and Tanga, Tanzania. For many years, many believed Tanzania had already secured the future of East Africa's oil refinery industry. After all, Uganda's massive crude oil pipeline, the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, also known as Aliko, was already heading towards Tanga Port. Everything seemed to favor Tanzania, but then something unexpected happened. Africa's richest industrialist, Aliko Dangote, suddenly shifted attention towards Mombasa, Kenya for a proposed multi-billion-dollar refinery project. And that decision shocked many people across East Africa, because this wasn't just another business deal. This refinery could completely reshape the economic future of the region. So the question is, why would Dangote prefer Mombasa over Tanga? The answer begins at the sea. Mombasa Port is one of the largest and busiest ports in Africa. Massive oil tankers already docked there every single day. The port is deeper, larger, and already connected to pipelines, fuel depots, roads, railways, and inland markets across East Africa. For a refinery expected to process hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil every day, infrastructure is everything, and Kenya already has it. Tanga, on the other hand, still require massive expansion. Tanzania has land, Tanzania has pipeline, but building an entire refinery ecosystem from scratch will cost billions more and take years longer. For Dangote, time is money, but infrastructure alone was not enough. There was another reason: the market. Kenya consumes and distributes far more petroleum products than Tanzania. Fuel imported through Mombasa doesn't just serve Kenya. It powers Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan, Burundi, and parts of Eastern Congo. In simple terms, Mombasa is already East Africa's fuel heartbeat. And Dangote understands one thing better than most businessmen: a refinery without guarantee market is a dangerous gamble. Then comes another powerful advantage: existing petroleum infrastructure. Kenya already has fuel pipelines, storage terminals, oil marketing companies, transport networks, and distribution systems. This means Dangote will not be starting from zero. And when investors calculate risks, that changes everything. But behind the economics, there is also politics. Reports began emerging that Tanzania's leadership had not been fully involved in early refinery discussions connected to Tanga. Soon after, uncertainty started growing. Will approvals delay? Will negotiation become political? Will regulation suddenly change? And billion-dollar investors hate uncertainty. Kenya quickly saw an opportunity. Suddenly, Mombasa began looking more attractive, more stable, and more commercially ready. But perhaps the biggest reason of all is control. The refinery is not just about fuel. Whoever hosts it will become East Africa's refining hub, the region's petroleum pricing center, a future petrochemical manufacturing giant, and one of the most powerful industrial economies in Africa. This is bigger than Kenya, bigger than Tanzania. This is about controlling the future energy economy of East Africa. And Dangote knows exactly what the kind of power looks like, because he already transformed Nigeria's oil industry with Dangote's refinery in Lagos. Now, he may be preparing to do the same in East Africa. But despite all this, Tanga is still not out of the race. Tanzania still holds powerful advantages: closer access to Uganda's crude oil, less congestion, more room for industrial expansion, and strong natural gas potential. And I believe Tanga could still make more sense in long term. But in business, immediate profitability often wins. And right now, Mombasa appears to offer faster returns, lower risks, stronger infrastructure, and easier market access. Which means this is no longer just a refinery story. It is becoming a battle of economic dominance in East Africa. Because whichever city wins could influence fuel prices, trade routes, industrial growth, transportation costs, and regional power for decades to come. And somewhere behind closed doors, negotiations are still happening. Because in Africa, the biggest battles are rarely announced publicly. They unfold quietly. Inside boardrooms, ports, pipelines, and billion-dollar deals. And as always, The real question is not just who builds the refinery, but who controls the future of East Africa's energy economy. Will it be Mombasa or Tanga? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this story, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share for more deep business documentaries, corporate scandals, Africa's mega projects, investigative stories, hidden truths, and untold history from across the world. Your support keeps these stories alive. It has been yours truly, Unruly Jayuga, and life as it is diaries continues.